This is the Doom Tomb Podcast, the podcast for all things stoner, doom, and sludge. My name is Chris. I am your host. Today we have all the guys from the band Surf Through Death. You're not going to want to miss it. Stay tuned. It is coming up right now. I wanted to get this on mic like right away because you're telling me about this band that I have no idea about. So please explain this again. And I need like essential albums.
All right. Well, there's only two of them.
Okay.
But they are amazing. And it's a band called Fuzz. And they have Fuzz and then Fuzz 2.
Right.
And it's Ty Segall. He's on drums. Charles Moonhart is playing lead guitar.
Right.
And they've switched the bass players. I think they have the bass player from, come on, think of it, Mike.
One of those people. Yeah,
he's really good. He's a great bass player. And
I'll have it in show
notes. He's
notes.
the lead singer of another band as well.
Okay.
Which I know, it's not coming to my head.
So it's thick, it's heavy, it's fuzzy.
It's great, dude. You'll love it.
All right,
Absolutely
thank you. This is what I like because I get to learn about something new every day. And you know what? I should just get this out of the way.
Sure.
We are with Surf Through Death. They have a new release coming out. We got to talk about it. First, we have to introduce everybody. Please go around and introduce yourselves.
I am Michael Upsall.
Shane Osell.
Chan.
Now, how long have you been playing as Surf Through Death?
I think it's just been a little over a year, right? We met at this whole thing started because I ran into Shane at a sleep show.
Right, the one at the Van Buren?
At the Van Buren.
Yeah, wasn't that an awesome night?
Yeah, that was fantastic. And he had said that he had been talking to Mike, who wanted to, start playing some heavy music, and I said me too, and just kind of started from there.
Right. Now, when you saw it, because I know Bell Witch was at that event, tell me what you thought of Bell Witch.
I thought Bell Witch was really awesome. It was the long, drawn-out instrumentals that I think it was driven heavily by the bass player, right? Bass player.
Well, yeah, it's a two-piece.
Okay. Yeah.
And they are, I would consider like borderline like funeral doom or something like that.
Yeah. What's happening?
What exactly do you have on your phone right now?
What
was that?
Band,
I was expecting something thick and heavy, and I got like some kind of.
He's trying to look up Fuzz, and something else came up.
Yeah, it said
Fizz.
Is it?
So you didn't like that? You didn't think that was heavy enough?
That was Fuzz.
Was
that was Fuzz?
It was that was fun. Oh, I didn't know.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Was that something off of somethinghub.com or something like that? Okay, so Bell Witch has that heavy funeral doom, and I gotta say, I saw him at Club Red, and I loved the idea of what it was. The performance that they did at Van Buren, for some reason, even though it was so slow, extremely powerful, I felt like I enjoyed that performance way more than the show that they had at Club Red a while ago. And that Mirror Reaper, I mean, what is it, like 83 minutes, one song? Incredible stuff, man. Incredible. So, okay, I apologize. Did you find Fuzz on the phone? Or?
I was just looking for the bass player's name.
Oh, okay.
But obviously Ty Segall puts out
Oh, there you go.
and then Charles Moonhart, they grew up together, so they just play in each other's bands with Michael Cronin and stuff like that. But I still can't find Meatbodies. The lead singer of the Meatbodies plays bass in Fuzz.
Meatbodies.
Yeah.
All right, it's another band I don't know. Help me out.
All right. Well, all their garage rock stuff, but
Nice.
it's really, really good.
I just got. I don't know if anybody else did. Like, you sign up for Third Band Records?
Oh, yeah.
For the Sleep release, and then so many people. Oh, just cancel it after. I said, you know what? No.
Did you get the White Stripes one?
I just did.
No, yeah.
Did you get it?
I didn't sign up for it, but the two of my colleagues at work.
It looks
It's dope.
gorgeous.
Yeah, it's
phenomenal, thick piece. They had. I can't remember. I know I got the Raconteurs latest release.
Yeah,
I
love that band too.
And something Go. Maybe it's just Go. The band Go. I don't know. Kind of like a garage rocky kind of thing.
Oh, I don't know that.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah.
And just the quality that he's putting out. Sometimes, I'll be honest. I take a look at it. I'm like, $60.
Well, at least you can cancel it before you get it.
but you get a good, solid piece. Whether it's the vinyl, I know one of they had some booklets. The White Stripes piece, I think it's 20-year anniversary.
Yeah, they went full bore on that one.
Yeah,
it
was just phenomenal.
I was jealous when it showed up to our office and 2 people got it and I wasn't included, and I had every chance to sign up for it. So. Literally, they're like, "Are you going to do it?" I'm like, "Oh, so totally." And
There's still got to be. I mean, you don't think it's sold out, do you?
Oh, you sign up for it. Yeah, and then immediately people will buy them and then they'll put them up online for like twice as much.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw them doing with Sleep and
that Sleep stuff.
Especially with the Sciences when they had there was like a half green, half black, and that one went for like mega because I think it was they were only sending those 2 record stores, if I'm not mistaken. It was only like
the Sleep record.
Yeah, just the one that was half and half. I only got the green, all green, and it's just I don't know, man. It's just phenomenal shit. But we have something more important here because I'm going to pick this up as we speak. This for none of those that can see this because this is audio. The new Surf Through Death LP, beautiful artwork. Who did this artwork?
Tyler Jeffers. He's one of Chan's buddies. He turned us on to him, and it's amazing art. We're super stoked on it.
Tyler does a lot of great work that is in this vein here, and he's also an artist for video.
Really?
Yeah,
Is this his style?
This is his style, and that doesn't look like what a video game designer would do at all. It's
no.
Like kind of stoner psych and
truly
kind of metal looking, and his thing is like I see a lot of like skull work with some of the stuff he does, and it's just awesome. Everyone who sees it all the time is just blown away. And we talked to him about doing the record, and he heard the tracks and kind of liked where we're going. We just gave him creative freedom, and as you can see, we were blown away.
It's gorgeous, and there's almost like I don't know whether these are trees or what. I don't know if it's what the process was behind the main illustration. It almost has this like 3D quality to it.
Definitely. I look at it and I'm like, I should get some 3D glasses and see if it looks like it jumps out at you or something.
Totally. Another reason why we liked it is it's got the kind of 3 skulls that have grown together.
Yeah.
And so there's 3 of us. I think maybe first or second track we wrote was called 3. And there's a couple other things that revolve around the number 3. So we kind of all
like you're putting all your heads together to create some great music.
Yeah.
That's awesome, guys. I love it. And so I know you had a specific name. I would say like so you have it's a opaque LP, blue with a little bit of
splatter green,
splatter green, a little yellow even tint.
Yeah, maybe.
It's gorgeous looking. I've seen this kind of color variant before. I know the band Howling Giant had a smaller release recently through Blues Funeral. And it's just gorgeous watching it spin.
Good vinyl, like colorful vinyl, is the best. You can sit there and stare at it for hours as you're listening to it. Yeah.
Yes.
For sure.
Very nice. Now, I know some of Shane's story. We talked extensively, and we're going to talk to Shane a little bit later about his solo project, Via Vengeance. But if we can, I'd like to hear some of you both. And what was your journey to getting here to Surf Through Death? Like, how'd you start? What were some other bands and some other genres?
So, let's start really early. So,
did I overload?
No, but it's really funny because we've all known each other for literally. I was looking at my 7th or 8th grade yearbook, and Mr. Shane is in my 8th grade yearbook.
Oh, I need to see that.
Yeah, he's got cool like skater bangs. It's freaking awesome.
Ooh, dude. Yeah. I know we're all there.
So, and me and Shan have been playing music together, but like in different bands. Like we were part of the like the '90s punk rock like scene, and we toured together. He was in a bunch of bands. I was in a bunch of bands, and we've literally been just playing bands forever. When Shane came over, he was getting a drum head.
So Mike did the Source bass drum logo
right
on my head, and I went and picked it up, and I said, "Oh, been jamming with Chan," and he goes, "Let me hear it." And so I played him about 15 seconds. He goes, I want in. But Mike goes, I want to play bass, which, to my understanding,
I normally play guitar, and I mean I played keyboards and guitar and stuff in other bands, but I really wanted to play bass because Chan is a freaking shredder over here.
As you can hear on the release,
Freaking shredding.
there is some definite shredding. Now, so how does it feel to now be a bassist in a band? Is it like, do you feel any? Because there was another band that was out here for a bit, Face the Flames, heavy. Tox was a guitarist for a long time, and he mentioned to me that he never learned how to really properly play, and his hands would constantly cramp up, and you could even see him on stage shaking his hand out, and he was so thrilled to be able to switch to bass that he said, thank God, like Jamie McHale, thank God that he could take that over. So
Awesome.
is it?
I still play guitar too.
Okay.
But bass, I love it because I literally play through the fuzziest stuff. So it's just fuzzy, deep, heavy. It's super freaking fun. And this guy playing with these guys, dude, is just amazing. So it comes together really, really easy and fun.
So how did you change from doing like a skate punk thing to where you are now? Like, is it? I'm not no because I'm old man. Is it just age? Is it like
Not at all.
What is it?
I've grown up listening to all kinds of rad. Like I things that I listen to, I just call rad music because if I'm listening to it, it's probably rad.
Of course, naturally. The be all end all, right?
Exactly.
Over here.
No, but it literally it's all the same things go into a lot of styles of music, whether it's a punk rock or it's super heavy stoner rock, doom stuff. I think a lot of it is just really where it's coming from, don't you think?
I think it all comes back to skateboarding, I think.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, skateboarding, you know, you kind of had all the punk bands that everyone would listen to.
Right.
But then, you know, there was bands like way back in the day, like, you know, Suicidal, which had like the punk attitude or even the punk like influenced first few records. But then they also brought the metal.
Oh, definitely
and then
brought metal.
A step away from that is you know you hear like an early Metallica record and you get into thrash, right?
And a border punk.
Yeah.
Like borderline punk. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're a little bit more removed from punk right there, but then you start, you know, wanting to hear some more of the metal, and then you find, you know, maybe some death metal or some stuff off like Nuclear Blast and like, you know, some less traditional stuff.
Right.
And then you're checking out some death metal, and then, you know, maybe sometimes you back off from that and then go to something else. And then on the same side of things is skating also kind of introduces you to like the underground hip hop culture too.
Like, are you talking like who would you say would be underground?
Oh,
in
I mean,
hip-hop?
back in the day, like when I was listening to stuff, it'd be like, you know, like a hip hop artist called Del the Funky Homo Sapiens.
Yeah, I know Del. Yeah.
Yeah, so like now, like he's on all sorts of big records, but back then, not so much. And he was just part of like, I forget which skate company at the time, but he was just on a lot of their soundtracks. And that's
Right.
how we'd find a lot of music was from skate videos.
Maybe Vision or something.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I can't remember what it was, but, you know, it could have been something like Birdhouse even, or something, I don't know. But,
Right.
But those skate videos, I mean, it's kind of like how we listen to music. It would be like punk rock for 1 second, and then some hip hop, and then some thrash, and then, you know, maybe some crazy garage rock. But you wanted to have it all, right? So
Isn't it crazy? You see these people, and you know, they're the skaters, and you're thinking that they're sticking with one genre, not even talking to them, and then realizing like they're more multicultural than you'd ever imagine.
Yep.
You
for
know?
Sure. I remember on tour, even like, I mean, I can't pick a date out because it all jumbles together. But I remember being on tour and I was really into Fu Manchu, the first album.
Right.
And I came across this super fan of one of my bands, and he was like, and I showed him Fu Manchu, and he's like, "Oh my god, this is amazing." He's like, "Check this out," and he showed me. I never heard of Queens of the Stone Age at the time.
Right.
He showed me the Queens of the Stone Age Kaya split, and I was like, "Holy fuck, dude, this is amazing, dude."
It's time. Yeah, you came up. Now, I mean, my story is just kind of similar. Like, in Florida, I always knew I liked this kind of music, but I didn't have a name for it personally. In Florida, South Florida, it wasn't really a thing. I mean, I mentioned it before on the podcast. It wasn't until I moved out here and I started to listen to some stuff, and I went to a show, and somebody said, "Oh, you like desert rock?" I said, I guess I do. And then somebody says, like, stoner rock and doom metal and all this. And I was like, yeah, that is exactly what it was. It was the Sword and ASG and Fu Manchu and
sure.
Early Sleep. And, it's like, I didn't even know what it was called. It just didn't.
It's just freaking awesome.
Yeah, because, like, especially, like, even, like, a band like Alabama Thunder Pussy. I remember seeing those bands on Headbangers Ball, like, right at the end.
Yep.
Because they didn't know what to do with them, where to put them. There's enough guitar, so it's bang your head music, so to speak. But I wish that there was some more avenues now for this. I don't know, other than getting online, getting your name out there on social media and etc. Hoping maybe like terrestrial radio. I don't know if they're ever going to do it, but what were we going to say?
I think, and I don't know. I think YouTube is onto something when you're listening to some good jams. It'll be like, you might also like this, you know, like, I've found a lot of rad music, even just watching KEXP, like live performances and like, like they're pretty spot on when they pick, I mean, not all the time, but they bat a pretty high percentage with the artists they bring on.
I even tried that with Austin City Limits, that program.
For sure.
And because it's like, after a while, I think it's with anything, and I think sometimes it's a testament when, I know everybody likes your music, but sometimes you don't always listen to stuff in the genre, so you're not influenced or overly influenced, and then you come back and it's something brand new and different.
For sure.
So, okay, so we got skate punk coming into finding Fu Manchu, finding Queens of the Stone Age. That's kind of where you are in your story. Is that
I
right?
would say, yeah. I mean, I would say the Kayas, Fu Manchu, Queens, like, definitely was a big intro to, for me, like, the early super stuff was the early introduction for me. Now, Shane's been into it a lot longer than he's probably. Wouldn't you say?
Well, what tripped me out? Yeah, whenever Mike and I went to high school and junior high school together, but then there'd be long gaps where we wouldn't see each other, but we always would talk music.
Mm-hmm.
So every time we would talk music, and then when you had told me Dingo played with Fu Manchu, and you showed me that poster, I was like, I hadn't even seen Fu Manchu. So,
Good. Why don't you explain?
all right, we're going way back. So
It's all good. We got time.
So I was just telling the story. So before I ever even held my first drumstick, I used to go watch this guy play music in high school.
No kidding.
A seasoned veteran right here.
Always here? In Arizona? Okay.
And so, yeah, a late bloomer with playing music, because I was personally more interested in skateboarding and playing ice hockey. That was kind of my thing that I did before I picked up a drumstick.
Right.
So but we would always, so I'd go see Mike play, and we would skate together here and there, and then we would, whenever we'd run into each other after that, we would always talk music and tell each other about different bands. And I remember one time you were like, "Oh, we're doing a Helmet cover," and I was like, "I have to hear that."
Which one? What album?
Bring it, or it's off.
Yeah, it was the one that goes do 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 do. Whatever that one is. I'm horrible with song titles, but yeah.
Confidence. I'm in the same.
Killing hurts.
Yeah.
Has to be done. Yeah.
Has to be done.
So good.
They-
So anyway, we've always just had a love for music and would talk music. So.
Right. So it's a perfect combination.
It sure is.
Now, if you could pass over the microphone to this gentleman with wonderfully coiffed hair. Well, look, Shane and I are just jealous. That's all
No,
it
it's
is.
fine.
So tell me your journey.
Just to get into guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, back in middle school, I think I had a friend that just had a guitar that was sitting in the corner and it looked really cool, and I just wanted to touch it.
Right, sure.
And
the guitar too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he didn't like playing it that much, so I traded him an RC car, and I took it home, and I went and I bought this like old school Ibanez distortion pedal. They were called sound tanks back in the day. Yeah. And what was super cool about him, I forget which one this was called. It was like a purple one, and you could get the raddest like early thrash sound out of it by like scooping out the mids.
Right.
So freaking heavy. I didn't even know how to like make a power chord. I just knew like how to hit the E string and make like just one note, just heavy. And
you felt it like almost like throughout your entire body.
Yeah, man. And then pick up a few tablature books and start learning some Metallica and early Ozzy, Black Sabbath stuff.
Right.
And so metal was always around, but like I said, punk rock was always around too, because it was super catchy and part of us all grown up, but also like really easy to play. And so you could easily start a punk band with your friends way faster than you could start a metal band.
Sure.
Because just 3 chords as opposed to really crafting all your shredding abilities for metal.
Did you do time in a punk band?
Oh yeah, we all did.
All right,
yeah.
so
we've all been in the same. No wait, we weren't in the same, but me and Shane have been in the same punk band at different times. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and Mike took me on my first tour. So Mike the singer here, took my punk band at the time on our first tour ever.
Then you were escaping. What's the name?
Oh, Jedi 5. Yeah, we were called Jedi 5.
Right on.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so punk rock's a big part of it. But everyone also really dug metal. Like it was never like a this or that sort of thing. But guitar, just learned, punk and metal, and just kept playing both like throughout my time of playing guitar.
How'd you feel like when you saw some what I would consider punk bands or maybe hardcore, like somebody like DRI?
Oh my
and
god!
They came,
so we're talking DRI. So like perfect combo between punk and metal. Like so heavy, but like so like silly and fun and punk rock, right?
They had an album dedicated crossover.
Yeah,
it is exactly what it was.
Yeah. So is what's the album that I got really into? I think it's called like Thrash Hard or Thrashered, something like that. It's got "In the Pit" is the first song. In the pit, in the pit, in the pit. It's so fucking rad.
You got started on that. I got started on Deal With It. Was that it? Yeah. Because I remember buying COC, Animosity, and DRI like the same week.
Dude, one of my first concerts.
They're great, dude. They're so good.
One of my first concerts ever. I went to go see. I was a little kid. I went with Tom Yount, who's a drummer in one of his other bands.
Right.
Like saying his full name. Here's his address. Here's his phone number.
Social security number.
Actually, I will give out his phone number.
Yeah.
I should. I absolutely should. Remind me to do that in the credits. Where were we going with this? Oh, my first concert. So, we had his parents drop us off to go see Prong and Corrosion of Conformity.
Nice.
Prong's bus had broken down, so Corrosion played for like 2 hours instead.
No shit.
And I remember I got kicked in the back by like a chick with like spiked like leather heels or whatever. And
it's a battle scar, my friend.
I was a kid and she was like an adult. Like, I don't know what she was doing. She kicked me like into the pit, dude.
You got to do your time in the pit.
Yeah. So that brings us back to DRI in the pit,
Right on.
That's it.
So that, and now you're here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There you go. All right. So, with being in Arizona, how do you feel? Because, and we're gonna go into the album really soon. I'm catching like a killer desert vibe on this album. And I've asked this before in other episodes. Is the sound indicative of like because of where you're living? Do you feel that it plays off?
I think it does. I totally think it does. I love Arizona. I'm a super huge fan. I think you guys love Arizona. Do you like Arizona? I love Arizona. I'm from South Dakota originally. I grew up in South Dakota.
I'm sorry. I mean, good. Yeah, that's fine.
So moving here, my parents moved here, and I've grown to love this place. I love the scene here. I love how a lot of our friends that we've grown up with in the music industry have started businesses and have opened restaurants and have done cool shit here. It's a rad place. Phoenix is cool.
Really burgeoning scene. I mean, we talked a little bit off mic before about New York, and New York has its allure and all this, and there's beautiful spots, especially like in the city of to go grab food or whatever. But there's so much killer stuff out here. I've never been to a Morisco's place until I came here.
Oh, really?
Love it to death.
Great, yeah.
Oh, it's like, what do you want, seafood or seafood?
Yeah. What do you want?
It's so good, and I've only in the past 2 years or so have I gotten into octopus.
I haven't done that. I'm a little scared of that.
It's desert seafood,
straight out of Lake Pleasant.
Yeah.
If you haven't had
Super fresh.
It's very fresh.
octopus in the middle of July, let me tell you.
It's Costco sells it now.
No idea. Yeah.
I can't believe it. So
They also sell $14,000 bottles of booze. I don't know who's going to Costco to buy their booze.
I have
but they
seen
do.
that. Yeah.
That's crazy shit right there.
that's some killer. I used to work for a liquor distributor years ago, and there's one that they sell it now. I think it's now like $2,500, so it's cheap.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the rot gut, but it's called Louis the 13th. It was from Remy Martin, and I used to have to deliver it. And the one weird thing was the Remy Martin Louis the 13th. It came in a pack of 6, and they were the most slippery boxes you could ever imagine. And it wholesaled for $1,000. So I had $6,000 slipping and sliding, and there was like, you palletize it, and there's like maybe 8 to a palletization.
Yeah.
Those could go at any moment. And put some rubber
whoever
on
did
it,
it,
put
yeah.
some grips, do something.
They did all the cardboard. They used some vinyl or something.
Yeah, they made it really shiny
Really sleek,
and
yeah.
slippery.
You don't do that with they should have just used freaking craft cardboard box.
Yeah, when it's like a low end varietal, like some cheap wine, some Mad Dog, I don't care. I'll whip around in the forklift, no problem. That you just 1 mile an hour. Just I'll hand unload it. I ain't messing with $6,000 a case. So hey, do you mind? Can we just go over some of the tracks for this release?
Sure.
Okay, so we talked about the beautiful illustration, and we want to start off with False Hope. What can you tell me about that track?
Well, I'd have to. I'm not good with song titles, but let's see here. Well, either way. Oh yeah. So these songs actually spawned. This song, Chan wrote this awesome riff, and then I wrote some bass to it and some vocals to it. I believe, if I remember correctly, it's about false hopes.
It's thank you. I really appreciate that.
I wish I would have brought the insert so I could read the lyrics that I wrote for it, but unless I'm playing it, it makes it a little difficult to remember what I wrote it about.
Let me ask you this.
Should I hum it?
Yeah, will you hum it and I'll sing along? No. All right.
As we go through the tracks, so
Do you? Yeah.
so he remembers it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. It's is anything coming to you? Anything?
Not really, no.
So this was not. These are not some licks that might have been 20 years old. These are everything. Is everything pretty much current, or was there something that you've been sitting on for a while?
So yeah, all the riffs actually came about. I've been listening to a lot of Earth.
Did you catch him at the Rebel?
Yeah.
How awesome was that?
He's my hero. He shook my hand and made my day. I hope his magic went into my hand.
Day, week, month, year.
Yeah. So I've been listening to a lot of Earth, and before I started with Surf to Death, I was loosely planning to do this slow, instrumental, kind of Earth worshipy sort of thing.
Sure.
Just my own spin on something between Sun and Earth. Not as heavy and droney as Sun,
Mm-hmm.
and then not as clean and almost Western sounding as the newest Earth stuff.
Right.
Something kind of in between that, and some might say so early, or or whatever. But that's what I was planning on doing. So a lot of the riffs are these like long, droning, single string sort of thing, and that's why the intros are really long, and there's a lot of that sort of sound on. Yeah, a lot of sound on the record like that because they're originally maybe going to be like just standalone guitar pieces.
Right. Well, that's cool because it's like I was saying, and I wrote down for the first track. It's just like I just got right away. I got this desert vibe, and there's sometimes when I hear some music and I'm like, this is gym music. This is Journey music. I feel not the band Journey, but like you're going off, and this would be like great hiking material for me.
I think
maybe I'd run in certain parts, but it's still a hike.
I think the intention for a record like this is you're supposed to listen to it all, and you're supposed to kind of vibe out to it, and that might not be like every time in your life. You know what I mean? It's just for certain times, right?
Right.
Like you said, when you're going hiking or whenever you like to, listen to this type of music. But I think it takes a little bit of effort. It's not for everybody. This style and the way we do it. But for those who do get this genre and are digging for all the artists that do it a slightly different way, I think it's easy.
Absolutely, it is. Very well put. As I'm looking, Too High to Fight It. Too High to Fight It. I have I put like the first thing, and
now this one I know.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
So
but
Too High to Fight It. You know the movie It?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. No, that has nothing to do with it.
It has nothing to do with it.
No.
There's no clowns in sewers or anything.
We were drinking and hanging out and partying or whatever, and he was telling a story, and he said, I was too high to fight it. And I was like, that is pretty cool. I don't know what it is, but I like that. And so this song, the reason I know the lyrics to this is because there are none.
So and that's when the title made more sense because Mike was just too high to keep fighting what to say over this song.
Yeah, just let the music do the talking.
Exactly.
Yeah, very well. Yes, go ahead.
This instrumental song, Too High to Fight It, was a challenge for me.
Really?
Yeah, because of like just the like listening to it, it flows.
Mm-hmm.
But putting drums to it.
Yeah.
Was like it took some work.
I can imagine that.
Do you remember? I was like, no. We got to go back to that because I put too much time into learning this.
I could totally get it because the first thing I wrote was tasty guitar. The guitar, and like, how do you put percussion behind that?
I think that's what me and Mike laugh about is like we come up with these riffs and these ideas, and then it's Shane's problem, like because they're like Shane said, like when you hear them, you can kind of just bob your head to it and do like kind of a straight sort of bob to it, but I think Shane will attest that the riffs when you break them down and how they're written, it's nothing like that at all. So the fact that he puts groove to it just amazes me every time that he can do this, and that's why he's one of the favorite drummers I've ever played with. It's like, how'd you just do that?
Yeah,
because I know it's a lot of work, and I'm sorry, but you do a very good job.
And when we were getting together and jamming,
right?
I was like, let's go back to that song, and it after so long, I was finally like, no, guys, listen, put some serious time in it. And then I remember, and you were like, this song's fucking amazing, and it may be one of the fun. I don't know. They're all fun, but that's
one of the funnest riffs to play.
Oh God,
for sure.
Yeah. So no, it's been fun.
Tasty guitar, like I said. Yeah, there you go.
Tasty riff.
Okay, Tied to You. I got some like an interesting, borderline like a dreamy vocal of sorts.
For sure.
Yeah, and some nice bottom end on here. What can you tell me about that?
This song is actually the first single that's coming out on the 10th. I don't know if this will be out by then, but
I can get it. I'm thinking put it out this week.
All right, so it comes out on next Friday, right? And this Friday, yeah.
Well, shit, I got work to do then.
It's I love this song. I love all these songs, but this is where the number 3 comes into play. This
Right.
song used to be called 3, if I remember correctly, and it has super, I don't know, like it just has a weird. It's all based on 3s, but it has a super vibe that it reminds me of a lot of things that I like or something. I don't know.
Okay. And you put it together, created
Put it
some
together.
amalgamation, and just create magic.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good one. But yeah, this is where the 3 kind of started, and we like 3s a lot. Yeah, you go ahead.
So, because Mike won't talk about how awesome his vocals are, and at this point, I think this is me and Shane's favorite part of the record, right?
Right.
There's the bridge of this song where Mike kind of sings, and I think it's not the first time the band gets soft on the record, but it's the first time I think Mike sings softly, right? And it does get to that dreamy.
I love that. I love that
sort of
sound.
spot, and like the lyrics that you're saying, man, and like the whole part is just an amazing experience, I think, to listen to. And that's why we put out the single, like, for this song. A couple people had heard this song. They always comment on this one. So,
Right.
that's there's something to it. I don't know what it is.
You gonna throw it in to the live set?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's a standard.
Okay.
Yeah, all of these.
The single art.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Mike had recently got a painting for my wife. My wife is an artist here in town.
Oh, really?
And yeah, you do.
This is better. Yeah, Amanda. Well, Adkins or she's staying. No, she doesn't even want to keep her name. Yeah, that's good. She's got to keep her artist name.
She's about to keep the
No, so I bought one of her paintings, and it's we remodeled our house, and it's hanging up actually in our restroom. And I was looking at it, and we renamed 3 to Tied to You, and this painting is so beautiful. It's these 2 blackbirds, and they're like there's a bunch of hummingbirds around these blackbirds, and they're like tying these 2 birds together like a bandage kind of. And I was like, oh shit, that would be so cool if we could use that for the single art for Tied to You. And so I reached out to Amanda, or I reached out to Chan, and he asked his lady, and she was kind enough to let us use the art for the single.
Right.
And it's super fitting, and it's super cool. Yeah, here it is.
Is it on the? Oh, that looks.
Isn't that
badass.
rad? She's super talented.
That is gorgeous. Is it? No. Okay, so let's say this, and I'll put it in show notes. How can you read? Is she on social?
Uh-huh.
Full name?
Here, I'll pull it up right now.
I just want to make sure everybody's getting their due
Was that
here.
her Insta?
Yeah.
Oh, it's already right there.
So
Amanda _Adkins, ADKINS _art. She's super badass.
Perfect. We'll check it out. We'll put a link in the show notes. For
Hell
you.
yeah, that'd be awesome.
And what can you tell me about Side Sip?
Side Sip is a jam. Let's start with the riff on that one. Chan.
This one is definitely the riff kind of came out of that whole thing that I was talking about earlier, where I was trying to write these kind of like just guitar instrumentals.
Right.
And I originally had this one written, the main riff for it, slower than we do it a little bit, and but the overall idea is still there, and it's definitely early Sabbath influenced. Yeah, and the riff is I'm gonna say it's challenging to play, like not just timing wise, but it kind of keeps evolving, right? It does a few different things in weird timings and weird spots.
Okay.
Like I remember him asking me at one, like, how did you even like write that? He was laughing, like he's laughing at it, like what you actually have to do to get it, sounding the right way, and it is kind of ridiculous. I don't know where riffs come from.
It just happens.
You're just like, how did that?
You smoke it and they will come.
It's Dylan. it's when I shake Dylan
Thank you,
Carlson's
Indica.
hands. It's the riff he would have got
So
Somehow it went on our record that only 250 people will hear.
One thing, if I can add, because when we're rehearsing these, and we don't really rehearse every week. It's kind of like when we can.
Right.
This project's pretty loose because we're all busy.
and it's not like you don't have 19 other bands. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this guy, hey,
Yeah.
you're right there. But one thing, it's like when I kind of lay down the basic groove, I kind of sit back and I watch them two. One thing that blows both of us away is Mike's playing bass and doing vocals to these.
Yeah.
And yeah, but he's putting words around these riffs. But to me, it sounds like it's just a sole vocalist.
And you know
on
that
its own, not a bass player and a vocalist. So
it's so funny you say that, because the one thing I wrote, and you can actually read it if you can read my chicken scratch. the vocal, the vocal's a little away, but the one thing that I caught about this vocal, every once in a while you listen to a song and it's like, that didn't go with the song. It's like you got a vocal and you got the music. Your vocal on this seemed to be another instrument, as opposed to being just a vocal.
That
You know what I
makes me very happy. Thank you. That's a very nice
mean? It's the
compliment.
first thing.
That's what I've strived for my whole entire life.
And well, there it is. You hit it on that one, man.
So thank you.
Knock it out of the park.
that's ironic. I almost was like,
Yeah. Actually, I remember, if you remember this band from that band Swerve Driver back in the day.
Yes, I do.
So I remember when I first heard that Rise album, or Raise. It's either Rise or Raise, one of those two. But the vocals in that record, they're mixed so low that it doesn't even sound like there's a vocal singing. It sounds like it's another fucking instrument. Dude,
Right.
Which I was like, oh my God, I love that. For people who aren't super uber fans of their voice, that's a perfect way to mix it.
Just throw it in,
Just throw
make
it in
it a part.
as an instrument.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have, let's see, what do I have on this one? So Kind Enemy. Okay, with this, I just kind of had like a slippery, slithery, not quite snakish, but there's something where, if you were dancing, you'd be like part belly dancer. You'd be part, you'd be part like not the heavy break dancing, but the like real flowy, groovy, weaving in and out kind of thing. That's what I got off this track. What can you tell me about Kind Enemy?
I love playing this song. This song is so much fun. I mean, it takes on so many forms throughout that song, I think. Don't you guys agree?
I think the riff in that is that's exactly what it feels like when you play it. Like it's like this slow dance,
Right.
like a snake, like you said.
Exactly.
It feels like that. I think when you play it, because it's so I don't know, just all those chords together. Almost, it sounds so heavy with the fuzzy bass, almost like a vacuum cleaner. I don't know.
So if
Pretty
I see you changing your shirt to like a belly shirt, I know what's coming up. What
You know-
song's coming up?
you know-
Song's next.
Oh yeah.
The riff is taken over.
maybe we get some belly dancers for the release show.
Ooh,
Yeah, line that up, dude.
that would be badass.
Yeah.
So guys, wow, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate going through the show. You've got a record release show. Where are we at?
We're the record release is
Valley.
Valley Bar, yeah.
Yeah.
February 1, Saturday. It's with our good friends El Googly Diablo.
I know them well.
They're
Yeah.
freaking awesome. And Stone Witch, dude. It's gonna be an awesome show. It's kind of cool. Like when we booked it, I was like, yeah, so we're doing the Saturday or whatever, and Valley Bar was like, yeah, so it needs to be done. And I should have known better, but they're like, yeah, it needs to be done by 10 because we have our dance party on Saturday nights. I'm like, actually, this might work good for us.
So is this an early show?
Yeah, it's going to be done by like 10:30, yeah. So
No shit. I've only seen that one other place here. There was, actually, believe it or not, it was Stone Witch, and they were playing with Spirit Mother at the Lunchbox, and they had to get done before 11 because there was a noise, I
Thing?
guess,
Really?
show, something. I gotta admit, whatever your taste is wonderful. There was something. There's something there. There were people in there bobbing their heads. there's no beat, so I don't know what they're bobbing their head to, but
I
but
know
it's
exactly
like
what you're
they're hitting,
talking about.
They're hitting pedals and this and that. I mean, I can't do it. So props to them for doing it.
Right, exactly.
Somebody likes it somewhere. They had full releases, records.
Yeah.
Couldn't thank you so much for coming to our town. Here, can we take pictures and all this kind of stuff? And I'm like, okay, I guess. I mean, there's room for everybody, is what I'm
Sure,
saying.
of course.
But all right, so we got an early show.
We got an early show, which means we can have an after party and really hang out. You know?
Have you been?
Really
Have you spent time at the Valley Bar?
Oh yeah.
All right, because I've always I'm the music guy, so I go down the stairs. For anybody that doesn't know, Valley Bar is basically in the basement, right?
That's a hidden little gem downtown.
And you cannot find it unless you know where you're going. Mm-hmm. You just one sign, and it's down an alleyway,
And
and
I
you're
think
like,
the sign is 2 feet long by
if that.
6 inches tall, maybe, or something like that. It's
What were you gonna say?
Now, luckily, they have Cornish pasties right there.
Yeah.
Because prior to that, you really couldn't find it. At least that's been. Oh, it's right.
It's right next to
alley by
Cornish, yeah.
pasties.
I just look for the dumpsters. It's right next to the dumpsters.
Look for the urine smell by the dumpsters, and then you'll see a door, and then go down.
It's the Irish part, is that Seamus?
I think so.
Yeah.
Seamus, yeah.
So I've always gone to have to listen to the music. I've never gone the other side. Have you tried anything? Are they do they do the artisanal cocktails and stuff? I know it looks like they would.
It's a cool place. I mean, as far as food wise, I mean, they do hummus and pita and stuff like that. And I think
Right.
little pizzas and stuff. They don't get all crazy with their food and stuff, but it's a cool little place.
It is.
It sounds great. Grasher's the sound guy there.
Now, speaking of food, I did this thing when I first started the podcast. I kind of let it go because, quite honestly, I forgot about it. So I have to ask you a few things, and I'm going to preface this. These questions came from a previous band. The band is Nebula Drag. And what I'm going to ask you after I ask you these questions is, can you please give me a question to ask the next band I interview?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Hopefully I remember it, because
I'll remember it because I have a good question.
Okay. So he had 2 parts, or maybe even 3. First off, this is very basic, what is your favorite sandwich?
I have mine.
Go, I want to hear it.
I'm going to say the turkey bacon avocado from Captain Bill's Subs.
Okay.
Imagine
now,
that.
Are you putting condiments on it, or?
Their Italian is going on it. They have. Well, I'm saying they. It's actually my wife's shop. So.
All right. Is it an Italian? Is it an Italian dressing?
Yes, it is.
Or like a borderline creamy Italian?
It's borderline creamy, but it's freaking dope. It's
All
really
right.
good.
All right. Where's?
Have you been to Captain Bill's?
No.
Oh, it's super
Where is it?
awesome. Yeah, it's a Phoenix staple. It's rad.
Give me-
35th Avenue in Peoria.
Oh, so okay. All right.
Yeah, it's a rad place. It's been there since 1981. My wife started working there when she was 15, and we've owned it for the past 3 years. So,
Right on. Okay, so that's yours.
That's
Shane?
mine.
Do you have one?
No. Sandwich in place or just sandwich?
Sandwich, man.
Just a turkey and Swiss with lettuce, tomato, and mustard.
Are you going spicy brown? Are you going yellow?
Preferably spicy, but
Spicy. Would you be offended by if I offered you a horseradish mustard?
no.
I think horseradish would go with Swiss.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, personally, I mean, my wife would kick me out. She doesn't allow Swiss in the house.
What?
She honest. I know. Honey, you're listening. And all right, you ready for this? Honey, if you're listening, the hottie in the band, which is Shane, does like Swiss. So I'm just letting you know that, sweetheart. He likes Swiss. So just to throw that out there.
Yeah, that's another story. I was first night I introduced his girlfriend.
Yeah.
I was introduced to his girlfriend
Yeah.
at the time. Yeah.
And
It must be a bald thing.
it could be. You know what, Goddard? Where was when you had the not the arc burner previous release?
Matter and Void?
Yeah. Okay. It was all of you, and you're all seated.
Oh, it was the photo shoot.
Yeah. That was because she says, what does this guy look like? And I showed her pictures. She's like, well, hello. Oh, all right.
Wow.
Yeah. All in good fun. All right, so go ahead.
For sandwiches, when I'm not eating Captain Bill's on 35th Avenue in Peoria, then I think I met my favorite sandwich tonight right before this podcast. Shane just introduced me to the Spinato's like spaghetti sandwich. I'm not sure what that's called.
Baked spaghetti calzone.
It's called a baked spaghetti calzone. And oh my God, did you have a bite of it? Yeah. It is like out of control.
Are they almost frying the spaghetti?
I don't know. I think it's a little bit fried and it's got like butter on it, probably maybe some sugar. I don't know.
I think there might be some calories up in that bit.
Dude, I'm telling you, I couldn't. If there was more of it, I mean,
we can go get more.
My mouth's watering right now, dude.
Then that's it. Shout out to Spinato's.
Spinato's, man.
Spinato's pizza.
Yeah, it's
now
fantastic
I
place.
don't know. I did have their pizza and I really enjoyed it. Where are they?
Right here at Tempe Marketplace.
Oh, no shit. Oh.
Yeah.
I have to admit, when I'm at Yucca, I go over to, that's my shit right there.
That's pretty good, but it's not a Spinato spaghetti sandwich, dude. I'm telling you.
Oh, fair enough. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Spinato's spaghetti pizza in Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
No, that's true. You're right.
There was no spaghetti pizza sandwich calzone on the
you're
roof.
Right. You're right.
Okay, so now that we got that taken care of,
Okay.
doesn't have to be in this band, but we need to know best show and worst show and why.
Oh my God.
That we've been.
That you have played.
Oh, that we
Played.
played. Oh.
Oh, if you want to, slag other bands, knock yourself out, dude.
I was gonna say the best show is not gonna be my band, like one of my bands. Like I saw.
It's got to be one of your bands.
No, well, can I lie and say I was in Graveyard 2 years ago? It's the best show I've ever seen, man.
Then you were in Graveyard.
I was in Graveyard.
How
one of the best
was
bands
it?
I've ever been in.
I know. And last time they were here, I saw him with Uncle Acid.
Yeah.
I thought that was you up there.
Yeah.
So how is it going in Graveyard? He looks a little.
I'm not the hottie in the band, so people don't pay as much attention.
Yeah, that's to the right of you. Yeah, that's that guy.
First time in any band.
Yeah. Man, the best show. That's gonna be really. That's really tough. And the worst show. I mean, I'm gonna let you guys go because that's hard. That's really hard.
That we've played.
That we've played.
No, just in general.
Just like in any band that you've been in, anything.
Anytime you played the worst or best show.
Dun dun dun.
You know, I did in Redfield, one of my past bands. We played. It was in was it Boise, the Big Easy, this club. With man, what a great night.
Great night.
Oh yeah, like we were playing with Authority, Zero, and I mean just the crowd comes out to hear music, man. And you can just tell like that's what goes on in that town. Like if a band's coming through, like everyone's gonna be there.
Were they starving for some good entertainment?
I don't know if because I haven't spent a lot of time in Boise. Have you? Like
I have.
yeah, and so I don't know if everyone's just big music fans or if there's nothing else going on. But
right,
it was a big venue and it was packed and like everyone was super awesome and so fun and it was just a great time.
And that's what I'm talking about. It's like when you have a show where it's like it's hot, it's the energy is there, it's thick, it's muddy. You could feel.
Yeah.
You could feel the people vibing off of you, and it's you're bouncing off them. Yep. You want to play harder. You want to play better, tighter. Yeah. That whole thing. That's what I'm looking for.
I'll have to come back on the worst show.
Okay.
Maybe we'll just.
Yeah.
We'll
stay good and then we'll bring it down.
Go ahead. I just meant best. And then
we can do best. I think the best show that I've played is February 1st of 2020 at the Valley Bar. No, I'm just kidding.
Fantastic. So how is time travel? Is it worth it?
So worth it, dude.
I hear this thing about the butterfly effect. I don't know if that's like If it's an actual thing,
Have you ever read that book called Fermata from I think his name is Henry Baker?
No.
I would highly recommend it. It's super
Explain.
rad. So a fermata is a time signature in music to where it stops.
Yes.
And so the main character in this book learns how to stop time, and he does all kinds of cool shit while he stops time. But
Sure.
he's aging that whole time, but the world is staying the same, and so then he unstops time, but he is getting older the whole time. But he does some really fucked up, fun shit, which I'm sure we all would do as well.
Very nice. This is
Check it
fiction, though, right? Oh, damn it. All right.
Oh,
So,
Any show that stood out to you? I mean, you've played more shows.
other than the show in the future, that's the best show ever.
other than this show in the future. Oh shit, there's so many. I would say it back in shit was that 99 or something at the Roxy in LA for a showcase for a record label I was on. That was a really fun show.
Right?
Worst show ever. Probably the last We Were Stereo show in Denver.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what go that way.
What exactly? Maybe?
Well, it was the last show with our guitar player at the time, one of our guitar players.
All right.
And I think he might have had a little too much to drink and
Fair enough.
played Van Halen solos over the whole set.
Fair.
That makes sense, right?
Well, I mean, you might as well jump, you know?
Might as well jump.
Maybe he thought he was in Panama. Who knows?
Maybe he thought he did. Yeah, exactly.
He should have, honest, to be respectful to him, he really should have gave you fair warning.
Oh, damn. That was a good one, dude. Very good. I like it.
I was born on the mean streets, man.
I was born on the meat, dude. That's great, dude.
And after this, I'll have one foot out the door. All right, so
Yeah,
okay,
that's impressive, dude.
Shane.
I mean, best show. Well, I mean, one that stood out was last year when I went to Europe with Via.
Yeah.
Played this one-man band festival, and
That was the thing in France, right?
Yeah, it was in Marseille. France.
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah,
I want to talk about
that.
that.
Was one of those shows where, like, yeah, it was just. I mean, I had never been there. They knew nothing about me, but it didn't matter because everyone there was just arms open, moving. There's no too cool for school arm cross when you're watching music.
No, impress me, bro.
I mean, there's a guy with a mohawk and a 75-year-old man next to him, and it doesn't matter. Everyone's just hungry for music. So that's right. That was definitely like a standout show. So.
And words. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I
go back to the worst.
sincerely apologize.
So it took me a while to think of the worst show because I don't really have a lot of like bad times on stage. I think like even like the lowest of the lows when you like travel across the entire country and you play for like 4 people or something.
Right.
There's still some sense when you're playing your instrument with your friends. Like it's still better than a lot of other things, right? So it's
true.
When you're playing music, it's hard for it to be that bad. But I dug down deep, and I used to be in this garage rock band called the Dead Eyes of London. And actually, now now I'm starting to feel uneasy. This is helping me remember another show that sucked.
Oh, well, please do tell.
I don't know if I want to tell the other one, but I'll tell this one.
Okay.
So we got asked to play inside of the store, right? Like for like a opening or something.
Okay.
We were like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like we just said yes to a lot of things, but we didn't really look into what it was. So we get there and it's like inside of a mall. And then it's like inside of a store, like a fancy like buckle, like clothes that we don't wear, like Ed Hardy and shit.
Right. Okay.
And they don't have like a PA system or any place for the band, and they want us to play like kind of quiet, but just kind of like in the store. So fucking awkward, dude. Because like this isn't the type of music for the people shopping. The shopping people don't really get that like this is a band trying to play. Like it just seems like people huddled in the corner like screaming songs. Like
people asking, "Where's the extra large in this? I can't find it."
It was very uncomfortable. And then it's one of those times when you start questioning, like, dude, what am I?
What am I doing here?
And then they paid us in gift certificates to their horrible store.
So
I still have the gift certificates somewhere.
I was going to
And
say
he's got the Ed Hardy jacket that he's wearing right
he
now.
does. That is.
This is my Ed Hardy jacket.
Just kidding.
That I earned that day.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know what? Love kills slowly, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was really, really awkward feeling because you could tell the people in the store that worked there just wanted us to stop. And like
we want to get fucking paid.
and like we have to fill 40 minutes and so then we had to earn our gift certificates. So now I feel terrible.
Is this an online redeemable? Can we?
I don't even think the store's around anymore.
I haven't seen anybody wearing that stuff anymore.
I think the whole thing was a bit. Yeah, it was all a nightmare.
It was a flash.
The style and the show and everything. It was bad.
I'll be looking for that when there's the antique Ed Hardy shirt that's now $300. Exactly. And it's like, great, whatever.
So there's that.
All right, so that was the worst. And do you want to talk about the other one or no?
I'll make this one brief. Another one we got hired to play at this girl's birthday party. This dad had been like, "Hey, like come play for my daughter's birthday. Like she loves you guys."
Okay.
I don't think she knew who we were at all. Like
Maybe he liked
the
you.
dad got it mixed up completely.
Yeah.
So when you're like, playing it's terrible, like just playing music for like a bunch of young kids who don't care and they don't like you. And
What was the name of the band?
that band was called Redfield.
Redfield.
Yeah, so-
They were a great band. Actually.
Yeah.
I used to play with them a lot.
Yeah, and that was one of the low points. I think Chad, the drummer, quit after that show. you guys know Chad, right? Chad Kinney.
Yeah.
From 5 Speed. Yeah. I think that was when he was just like
I had enough.
not doing it anymore. No more.
All right,
Yeah.
fair enough.
There's that.
And Shane, worst?
It's funny because I'm listening to your story and then I'm just trying to think of what do I want to say, and I feel bad because this show was for a good cause. It was in Winslow, Arizona. I don't know if we were jamming yet when I played.
Such a fine sight to see.
Yeah.
So played in Winslow
Right.
with Via, and there was nobody there
Right.
except for the people who put the show together,
Sure.
and it was windy as fuck, and I'm out there so windy that my hat flew off, my cymbals are fucking moving, and I'm just I looked at him and I said,
Yeah.
Called it.
You called it. You can't do it. Yeah.
yeah, it was 3 songs.
Yeah. It was no fault of your own. It's Mother Nature. What are you going to do?
Have you ever called it on stage, Mike?
I wanted to with that show.
No, but have you ever been like,
No.
what, dude? It's like we're fucking out.
But luckily I just looked over and stopped playing. He goes,
Yeah. Terrible
So,
question.
I think they felt so badly.
Bring it back up. All right.
Here's $80 for gas.
There you
Thanks
go.
for coming out.
I saw.
I said, now where's the statue at? So I can at least.
No, but I was at a show recently, and they were using a lot of backline, and one of the first bands on, it was just too muddy, and they were forcing it through, and because they didn't have their stuff, and whatever they were supposed to do, like half hour, and they cut it 8 minutes, and it we just can't get it, and I was
It's
like
that first Lollapalooza that I went to.
Okay.
My wife went there. We were dating at the time, obviously. But 9 Inch Nails came out and played one fucking song and then broke every piece of equipment on the stage and freaking walked out.
no shit.
Yeah. Trent Reznor was all. It was. I still have the T-shirt.
Where were you? Where were you?
Here in Phoenix. It was the
Okay.
first show of the first Lollapalooza.
Because I saw them in the first Lollapalooza.
First Lollapalooza.
It was in Jersey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so everybody was.
So
it
they
was
all had new gear at that time.
Yeah, I would assume. That was oh my god. So that was
92, 91 maybe?
yeah. Butthole Surfers,
Ice-T,
Henry Rollins,
Henry Rollins.
Susie and the Banshees. Was
Nope.
Soundgarden on
Nope,
that?
they
No,
weren't.
Soundgarden was on the second one.
That was the second one.
Second one.
The first one was Jesus.
That
and
was the
Mary
second
Chain.
one.
Was it?
That's what I saw. The first had
Living Color.
Living
Played the
Color
first
was
one.
on there. Butthole Surfers
Butthole Surfers.
were on there.
Living Color.
I love that band back in the day.
Riff is the funnest.
The 7/8 riff.
Yeah.
It
So rad. And I've always wanted to write a riff like that. And I thought one time, I'm like, what if I just slowed that down? Like, could I get away with like stealing that riff? And I haven't been able to pull it off yet. But dude, that riff is amazing to play. Dude.
Oh, it's funner because it does the 3/4 to 7/8.
Yeah, and then they extend it. And I mean,
Vernon's a beast.
yeah, amazing guitar player.
And I apologize, I don't know what's the drummer's name. Do you know?
I know this.
But that pocket that he hits, damn. Will Calhoun?
Wow, that's impressive.
Is that it?
So for the guitar player geeks out there who listen to this, and Mike, you're a guitar player, and Shane, you played guitar in Via, so yeah.
No, he does. He does.
But you know what's interesting about Vernon on that riff, because I was obsessed with that riff for a long time, and I found a video of him. You got the drummer name right? Wow, look at
damn.
Who knows that? Wow.
Boom.
That's crazy, man.
Win.
But
For the win.
yeah, on that riff, Vernon actually ended up stumbling across a video where he showed how he plays it, and he does it all with one like finger, like he just does it by rolling this finger back and forth for most of the time. I think me and you would probably play it the same way with multiple fingers. And it was really weird to see that, and that's how it's done from the source, I guess, man.
Yeah.
It's great.
The singer was the Glover guy.
Yeah, Corey Glover.
His name was
Danny Glover.
Danny Glover.
Really?
It was Danny Glover, but not anymore.
Yes, right. He's the weapon.
I see what you did there. No, is it really his kid?
Mm-hmm.
Shit, I didn't know that. I mean,
Mel Gibson actually killed him.
did he?
Yeah, in real life. Yeah.
It was.
Mel
Wasn't that in
Gibson
the?
flipped out and
Wasn't
killed
that in
Danny
the movie?
Glover.
It was Passion of the Glover or something like that. Was
Passion
that
of the
it?
Glover.
I think. No Glover, no lover. Remember
Right,
that.
yes.
Yeah, be safe out there, kids. So before we go, I need a question or three or two.
Okay.
A question to ask the next band.
Well, I had actually two, but I'm just going to ask the one.
Go ahead. I'll take two.
I think a good question to ask in the format of bands that you're interviewing would be, when was the first time you smoked weed?
Ooh, you know what? Dude, 2 years plus I've been doing this. No one said that.
I think that would be a good
Fucking
question
brilliant.
to ask because it's fitting, you know.
Yeah, it's fitting, it's apt. I love it.
All right.
All
You're
right.
up, buddy.
You got one?
She ends up next.
I actually got this idea during this podcast, and my question for the next band is going to be: if you could freeze time, what is the first thing that you would do?
Ooh. I might have to ask that before I start because that's going to take a few minutes
Yeah,
to
you
soak
can-
in
if
and
you could
digest.
Just, snap your fingers and stop time for however long you want. Like, what are you going to do?
Everybody remembers the first time they smoked weed. The what you do to stop time.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
So that's going to be that's the question I'm throwing down.
I do have one. And
Yes, sir.
It's pretty boring.
Nicholas Baker reference. I had a correction. It's not Henry Baker. It's Nicholas.
For that book.
For that book from It's good.
So this is going to be a boring one. I don't know if anyone's ever asked this one, but after they have to answer them in this order too because of the weed.
Okay.
Time. Then when you're taking a dump and you run out of TP, when you put that roll on, is it over or under?
Over, under. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to. I just got to say something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
I know
and
that.
has anyone asked that?
No one has asked that,
Okay.
by the way. And,
I'm thinking right now if anyone does it differently than I do.
Then they're weird.
all right, well, hold on a second.
You go under?
Fuck no.
Take.
Nobody goes over. Yeah.
Do you know?
Over, please.
Personally.
Oh!
No. Now, here's the thing. Personally, I'm an over. And the reason why, because I have this argument with my wife because guess who does it under? But I said, look, it's very simple and straightforward. The patent has the roll over. That's it.
Yep.
Discussion's done.
I didn't even know some people out there
yeah.
do under.
And
I think my kids, they just don't give a shit. And so they're just like, beep.
They don't give a
They don't
what?
give them. They just
don't give a shit.
they leave them.
Yeah, they just
Yeah.
No, I literally think they just put it on. However,
Yeah.
it goes on, and they're like, "Fuck it, I'm dealing with it."
Yeah, and
I'm
so
the one who fixes it.
I've actually done it a few times where I don't even put the roll on. I just put it on top of the empty roll. Like fuck that. I know it's only me. What am I? You know, I'll probably have to go 2 more times before I leave the house anyway.
there's a good.
I'll put it on later.
There's a good meme out there that shows the different stages, and one's if there's no toilet paper,
Right.
and you set the empty cardboard just vertical up there. It basically says you should die.
That's me. Quick death. Oh, that was it. Shit. I almost forgot. I have to ask this before we go.
The name?
Final question. Yeah.
Oh, how did we come up with that? I know it's I like it.
So this, writing the songs was the fun part that flowed, but coming up with a name
Right.
took some time. But I remember I was actually in Europe when the text names, and I remember telling it to the other guy I was with and my wife, and they were like, "That's fucking rad," and I was like, "It." So for me, that was when
Yeah, I don't know.
So were you just throwing out words together and
Yeah.
through a text thread.
right?
Yeah, and I actually I had come up with I had this little side project that I was working on around this time too, where I came up with this like mix of like it's like surfy doom music.
Nice.
And I was thinking about calling the album like Death Surf or Surf Death or Surf Through Death, or like I kept throwing out these things, and I think that's where I kind of got the idea for it was going to be for a different record, not a band name, but just how you described the title of the album.
Right.
And I think it was called like Doom Surf or Surf Death.
Well, if it's going to be like something that would be like borderline surf rock, which would be like Dick Dale, it'd be Dick Death.
So, Dick Death. Dick Death.
That's right.
That's a fucking funny name, dude.
What about Dick Breath?
Dick Breath, Dick Death. Yeah. But again, like, so we're not a surf influenced band by any means. And you could kind of, sometimes people are like, oh, I didn't know if it was going to be like surfy or doomy, but there is that single string, a lot of stuff on guitar that if you were to play it clean, it might actually come off a little bit surfy.
Interesting.
To bring it all back around.
Yes, sir.
Shane actually, and this brings it back to the beginning of this interview, but Shane actually, when we sent him the names, and that was the name we kind of were like, hey, we dig this name or whatever, what do you think? And he's like, dude, that makes total sense, Surf Through Death, when you talk to people and they're like, oh, that guy just skates through life. Surf Through Death, and it brings it all back to
Perfect.
skating, dude.
Brings it all back around. Look at you.
Being fans of skaters, a bunch of skaters that wish they could surf. We're surfing the desert. Yeah.
You did in comedy what they call the callback.
Yeah, there you go.
You call back, you brought it
That was
around.
awesome to watch, Mike.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
That I saw him. He's just like laying in the cut. He's just like he's waiting for his little spot, and boom, just drops it, and the mic is dropped.
That's why he's the vocalist.
Gentlemen, thank you so much. Really appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having us.
I will be at the Valley Bar. We'll check it out. Let's hope that Stone Witch doesn't have the smoke machine going on too much, because that's another story of the Valley Bar. If you listen to an episode way back, you'll hear the story. Listen to the Stone Witch interview, please.
Yes,
Yeah.
we will, for sure. And
was on my way
I
home.
like smoke machines. I mean,
Yeah.
It's great. I'll tell you after, because people have heard it before. All right, we're out. Thanks to the guys in Surf Through Death. Really appreciate you taking the time to sit down and just go over track by track of their latest release. Let's hear a track off that right now. This is False Hope. doomtombpodcast at gmail.com. That is how to reach us. Thank you so much for joining us. And, we haven't been a whole lot of shows lately, but we will be getting out there. A lot is going on and coming up in the month of February. Short month, big on music this month, especially in my area. If you need to check us out on social media, you can do so, doomtombpodcast.com. You can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Doomtomb Podcast. Leave us a message, say, hey, you got a submission, you got a request, you got an idea, whatever it is. We got a couple more shows coming up right after this. We're going to have Alpaca coming up really soon, and also Via Vengeance. Also, I know I have an interview prepared for the band Source. That will be happening this week, and then that will come out very, very soon. Thanks, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Keep going to the shows. Buy some of that band merch. And don't forget to stay heavy.